Hey everyone, it's Jeremy Alien here once again. Today I want to show you guys my walkthrough of varieties from Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning. So yeah, let's do a walkthrough, shall we? There are at least like 5 in total, but I did 3 because I'll tell you why. So let's get to it, shall we? Okay, let's do this middle one first because this is like the first appearance of the first mask. And you're probably all wondering, what the fuck is this shit? This is the dream sequence of Jason Voorhees, of Tommy's horror nightmare, I guess you can say. And this is what he appears as when you first see him in the movie, with the night crawlers coming out of his eyes, and with the muddy feature. So yeah, these are fake worms. I got fishing lures at Walmart. And I love the way how I designed this. I even try to make it as accurate how I see it on the picture itself and the figurine, but I'll be getting to the figurine some other time. So I figured I'd show you guys my masks first before I get to the figurine of the dream sequence and hallucination in that. I also did the inside. I had to glue it and tape the night crawlers inside the mask because they've been bugging my eyes and as such. You don't have to do the paint job in the back. I just want it to look like it's been weathered as hell. And they don't show this in the back in the movie, but they should have. But, I mean, if you have that kind of imagination, you would imagine Jason have mud in the back of the mask as well. This is how weathered it is. And I also decorated the straps to give off a muddy look to it. This isn't real mud. This is I mean, I could have used real mud, but since I'm gonna use it as cosplay and that shit, there's really no point in that. I used like a darkish grayish paint, and I dabbed it with a sponge, and I also squirted it with a squirt bottle. As you can see, there's a bit of drops right there. It's been splattered as hell. So yeah, it's pretty weathered mask, and it's pretty creepy as hell. Pretty grotesque looking, if you ask me. As you can see, I decorated the chevron to give it off a muddy look to it, because it was muddy in the movie itself, and on the action figure by NECA. So yeah, I thought that was pretty creepy of a mask to do, and I really enjoyed making that first dream sequence. I would have done the secondary one, but I don't know. I mean, I saw a lot of people do it already. Like whenever he comes out of the casket and approaches Tommy Jarvis with a machete, and he doesn't have the worm eyes at all because they've been washed off by the rain, obviously. So it kind of would make sense. And those were actual worms they used in the movie, which was pretty damn cool. This is the Roy Burns, or AKA Jason Imposter. And you probably are familiar with this one. It's the one that appears at the end. And we get a first glimpse of him. Whether it was the barn scene or the tractor scene. Stuff like that. As you can see, it's pretty weathered as hell. And it looks almost movie accurate as it should be. I ain't worried about the buttons, so in case you guys are complaining about that, I mean, I don't care if you're complaining about that. I'm just not a button person or a specific kind of strap person. I just like designing it the best I can. You make it close enough as accurate as possible. As you can see, it has blue marks right here. I did not know that. Like, I didn't even know about the missing chevron either. Like, I guess they don't want you to think that Roy designed his own mask to look like Jason almost, but different than Jason because he can't have the same exact mask in every movie, obviously. So they want you to think that Roy had a little bit of a paint accident and designed his own mask while he was designing his own chevrons, stuff like that. I'm not sure why it was so dirty in the movie, the paint job and that. I used a cocoa latte color brown to dab it with a sponge. They never said why it was so dirty. I guess it's because of the rain, the weather, I guess. And he only appears at the end of the movie. We don't see him like at the beginning or the middle. like earlier in the movie, so we don't know like what his mask did look like earlier. I assume that Roy like randomly found this in this garage or some shit and just took it and designed it and didn't care how clean it was. That's my guess. But I love it though. It's pretty awesome looking and badass. Okay, let's get but not least. This is the hallucination Jason that you see in the mirror scene and at the end of the hospital scene whenever Tommy awakens from his slumber from the coma after the attack of Roy Burns incident at the end of the barn scene. So yeah, this is like the hospital scene whenever Tommy wakes up and he sees Jason staring down at him next to the bed in front of him. So yeah, I thought that was pretty of a scary scene, I thought. He does appear earlier at the mirror scene, like I said. Whenever Tommy sees himself and then he looks at the mirror again and then he sees Jason from behind with a bloody ass axe. So yeah. And before you question me, yes, there is a secondary hallucination, and that's the one from outside. That's the one Jason that stares upwards at Tommy, and Tommy stares down at him from the mirror. Not the mirror, the window. And Tommy sees Jason outside the window, and Jason's in the front yard next to the chickens and that stuff. The reason I didn't do that secondary hallucination one, because that's technically the part 6, Jason Lives. If you look closely at the mask, the secondary hallucination, it has an almond color and it has the exact same chevron as this, so it's technically this version, just not as muddy and nightcrawly. So yeah. So that's why I didn't really technically do that. Besides, I already did a part 6 Jason mask, so it's really no point of doing another one special for that. I'm not going to be that crazy about it. But yeah guys, this is the hallucination. And he only has one chevron. This actually came with the figurine of the varieties of heads that my figurine has. And here's the picture. Here's a picture of what he looks like. As you can see, he has some missing chevrons on where they would have been at earlier. This is kind of like the part 4 ending. The battle damage Jason, when he fights Trish and Tommy at the end. And this is like the last time Tommy ever saw him, so this kind of would make sense for him to have the exact feature from part 4 as a hallucination. But they kind of changed it around a little bit with the paint job. The paint job, like the bloody marks. Part 4 has less blood on it, if you look closely at the blood job from part 3 and part 4 and part 5. So yeah, this is kind of like the part 4, but it's basically the part 5 hallucination. So yeah. I will be making another video review of the mask from part 4, and just to show you that there's a whole difference between them from hallucination Jason to part 4 Jason. I almost said part 4 hallucination, almost. But yeah, there's a difference between those two. And I used in case you're wondering how I did the cut, I used a hot knife, just burned it. I mean, I suppose you could use scissors, but these Macs are pain in the ass to do with the cutting and that stuff for the axe mark. So I used a hot knife for both of these Macs right here. I don't know why Roy didn't have an axe mark. You would imagine he would have. Like, I didn't even know that he had a missing chevron. Because I watched that movie like 1,000 times early in the past. And I saw kids on YouTube, they were doing a review on the exact replica from NECA, the people that make the figurines and the mask replicas. It appears he has a missing chevron and stuff like that. And I did not know that till just now, so that's pretty cool to add the exact detail from the movie comparison. But yeah guys, hope you guys like these mask varieties, and there's more to come. Bye.